All right. The Shuan situation is crazy, genuinely insane. The Shuanet situation is crazy. Anyway, we're going in. I don't know what happened, so we're gonna look at this. Also, please consider subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea. I'll be real. I got no idea what's happening here. What did happen?
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here. So I'll be honest with you guys, this is one of those videos where the subject matter featured in it is going to be a very grim one. Every time you think you've been completely black-pilled by...
There's no way. Oh, wait, no. Is it about Lindsay? This probably is about Lindsay, isn't it? It's just outrageous, right? The whole Lindsay thing is crazy, by the way, if it is about that, right? It is crazy. They are fucking saying, yeah, Leos don't kill their cubs. It's crazy.
social media users and their insane behavior. Trust me, it's going to get only worse. Now, why is Shuan Head featured here? Well, she's been very vocal about this situation, and she's been taking the brunt of the crazies on social media, and also being accused of concocting this entire situation and the insane response on social media. Now, what is this situation? Well, right now, there is a...
Oh, no! Not this chick again! Just give her the penalty, bro! See, the thing is that people don't even understand. They're not even discussing whether or not she's guilty, right? They know she's that she did it. They're discussing whether she should end up in jail or be institutionalized. That is it. That's what they're discussing in this court. They're not even right. The people don't, right? These women, which it is mostly women, right? It is actually almost exclusively women. These mentally ill ladies do not understand that she's not, right? It's not about whether or not she did it. It's about whether or not she should be institutionalized or jailed.
Very high-profile case going on involving an individual named Lindsay Clancy. Now, she is accused of offing her 3 children, strangulating.
It's not an accusation. She admitted it. Her husband admitted it. The defense attorney admitted it. It is not an allegation.
Them 5 minutes apiece. Now, her defense is that she was not legally culpable for her actions because she was in a state of psychosis given her postpartum depression. Now, postpartum depression is a very real thing, and it makes sense, right? When a woman gives birth, their hormones are completely out of whack, and it might have a very serious impact on their mental health. But what happened here is truly evil. And what's also evil is the reaction on social media, including from...
They're actually arguing whether or not actually that was the case, because from the diagnoses that were provided, it might have not been any psychosis. And she did it deliberately.
Thousands of mothers who are empathizing with the rage she expressed.
Oh yeah, I blame her 5 doctors case. Yeah, and right. Interesting is also there's women sitting there with their babies, with their children, and saying that they empathize with her. Let me tell you, if you are a boyfriend or husband and your girlfriend or wife jumps into defense for this woman, either protect your child or leave if you can. Because that is not a sane person. This person would defend the great evil men of this world if they were women. That is a guarantee. I promise you that. Guaranteed. Anyway.
Towards her children. In fact, right now, there is a trend on TikTok, #SameLindsay, where people, including mothers, are holding their own newborns, expressing support for what she did. In fact,
see, women choose the bear. I'm questioning whether children should be staying with their mothers or a bear. Yeah, it's crazy. Blame the likes of Candace for her innocence. Actually, that is insane. Yeah, this bitch is not innocent, not in the slightest.
At the trial, thousands of women are showing up and showing their support and love for Lindsay. In fact, today there is a planned stand in peace protest against what's happening here. And it gets even worse. There's a GoFundMe that's about to cross $1 million. Oh, you thought that was bad? Well, right now it's very popular on social media, including TikTok, to prop up cameras and do performative crime pieces like this, where they say,
If you have the time, to put up, right? If you're not okay, you're not gonna put up a camera and cry in front of it, edit it, and then upload it to TikTok. This is not just perform. These women are. We have a. If you can tell me that we don't have among our female population a massive mental health crisis. There is no shot. There is no shot. Not in the slightest. That isn't the case. We have a female mental health crisis, if that's the case. Anyway, we have misunderstood. Women want to be the bear so they can kill their husbands and children. Clearly.
they're never going to be okay, and they empathize with what Lindsay did. In fact, it gets even worse. Now, thousands of mothers are posting deranged.
By the way, if your therapist told you to do this, that is a shit therapist. See, self-control is not right. If you might tell if you right, this is not self-control. This is not emotional self-regulation. If you want to do this, right, then you shouldn't. No matter what your mind tells you, you shouldn't. That is a lack of self-control right there. These videos, I told the baby not to yell between 14 to 16. It's his fault. Yeah, I need to look into whether birth control does affect women's mental states. I mean, it is a reality that more women than ever are on mental health medication, right? We already have that. And yes, I would argue that, yes, it does affect them. If something affects your hormones and the way you choose your partners, then yes, it does affect your mental state. We already have proof of this, right? They did the studies. Women choose different partners based on whether or not they are on birth control. That is a reality. We have that already. Women are not on birth control usually go for more masculine men. That is a reality.
Psychotic episodes of them violently expressing their hate.
We're setting women back 300 years with this one. Let's talk about women's wrongs. People were right.
Hatred of their own children in support of Lindsey Graham. Like, you literally cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see on Twitter, people are saying she's not responsible for anything that happened in a response to a tweet by Bryson Gray here. And then
it isn't. And I agree. Actually, arguably, she should get the death penalty. There's no argument to be made, actually. Hi, Adam. How you doing? Everything well? I want to ask you something. I hope you're sure because you're the best and you deserve it to reach the goal. Thank you. What do you want to ask? There's mostly accurate account of historical when one woman did the sewer slide and other women did it to get the same attention. Arguably, I would in fact even believe that because women are very much acting like a hive mind. Because they are far more agreeable. That is also true. It's not when officials said the next one would be naked in the street. That's crazy.
And you see people on TikTok as well saying that the patriarchy is responsible for what happened here. Oh, but it gets worse. Now there's people on TikTok saying that the husband should have been the target of this violence. And some married women are saying, yes, this should happen to the husbands. Divorce immediately, by the way. But here's even
divorce and file for custody. Straight up. Divorce and file for custody. Full 100% custody. Absolutely 100%. This is insane. Your child is not safe with a woman like that. That is true. It's not a hive mind. It's a bias from women toward. It is a hive mind. It is a hive mind. I can tell you why. If a woman in a friend group diverges from all the other opinions, she's out. She's out of the friend group. That is it. It is literally hive mind behavior. I mean, you can literally see it. Most women, like most people that are supporting the current thing, are women. They are white women, liberal women that support the current thing. Right? That has been the case all the time. It is a reality. It is absolutely 100% the hive mind for them. They need to act the same way. If you act out, you're out. That is unfortunately a reality. Seen it often enough. One woman acts out of the friend group, or one girl acts out of the friend group, she's no longer part of a friend group. That's a reality. White women, it's not even just white. It's every woman. It's like a large portion of the women in the West here. Women in the West here. That's true. There's no argument to be made. Right? Not just white women. It's Asian women, Indian women, Russian women. It's all women from all kinds. It's all kinds of women that do this. Because they cave in much easier to peer pressure. They're more agreeable. We had this. We had this before. Right?
Another layer of the craziness here. People, these TikTok true crime junkies, are now making up fan fictions that it was the husband who did this, and then he framed his wife, which is insane. Give me 2 minutes to describe how insane this is, okay? Number one, the husband was caught on camera at a store while this was happening. But of course, social media users are claiming he had a doppelganger that was covering for him out in the public.
You see how insane these people are? And they've seen it in the stars that he's guilty. They've read the tarot cards. They've consulted the deceased spirits of the children. These women are insane. They are mentally ill women on Twitter deflecting. They don't even see. It's not even Twitter. This is all this mental illness is taking place on TikTok. All of it. Every little bit. And you'd be even more, it's even more insane. People criticizing these women are getting banned on TikTok for doing so, for calling this behavior out. It is insane. Social structure and clear bias towards women that interest hive minds means there won't be a woman that disagrees and push out of the group because they all share and support the same mind wave. Well, obviously not literally a hive mind, but they act still like a hive. So wouldn't cheat on her. He's a Leo. Zeus wouldn't cheat on Hera. He's a Leo. Are you sure they're seeing the stars or crystals? That they've consulted. I don't know. They have time machines. They have time machines, so they can go back and watch them, but they can't interfere, right? Grandpa paradox.
Like, insane. But we don't even need to debate whether or not she did it. That is not something they're questioning at the trial. Her defense, they know she did it. Their defense is that she was legally insane because of her condition at the time and that she was basically in a state of psychosis. She blacked out, did the stuff, woke up later and was like, my God, what have I done? That's their defense. Now, for the TikTok enthusiasts and really anyone out there, pleading insanity in an American court system is insanely hard, no pun intended. Less than 1% of insanity pleas actually work, okay? And even if you are successful in that plea, it's not like you get to go home and like nothing happened. You go to a psych ward, probably for the rest of your life. They're basically saying that no, she shouldn't go to prison, but instead,
yeah, she should go to the psych ward, which is essentially just prison, where she will be medicated to the point where she won't be able to physically do anything at all. Yeah. I want prison. I want prison. I want her, right? I don't want her to be like babied. I want her to go to prison straight up. To me, I don't believe this was in any way, shape, or form a psychosis. I believe that she did it deliberately.
should be in psychiatric care for a very long time. And most of the time, when someone gets a successful insanity defense granted, they spend more time in the ward than they would have in prison, because at the end of the day, insanity defense or no, the person is not someone who is fit to live in society. So the fact that people are coming up with these theories about the husband,
Careful though, these are the same people that argue abolish prisons. So there's that. Maybe they want her to walk out and about.
is absolutely deranged. And if you want some somewhat good news, some of these psychos on TikTok who are expressing their support of Lindsay are being investigated by child services. Well, you know what, that shouldn't be too surprising when you're posting stuff like this.
Yeah, good job. Good job. They should be all under investigation if they have children. All of them. Without parole, all of them should be under investigation for potential child abuse. Or threatening potentially a child. That is a reality. I don't care, bro. Psycho facilities can be harsher than prison sometimes. So long the court won't set her free, we should be good. Now what do we do with the crazy women that support her? Shame beyond belief. Shame investigated as well, like here in this case.
Literally holding your newborn, as you say it. But let's get to Shoe on Head. Shoe on Head, as a mother, has been very vocal about the situation, exercising that one thing that all these wackadoos really hate, and that is common sense and just a tinge of humanity. So she shared posts like this saying over $700,000 now raised for a woman who strangled her 3 children to the end with exercise ropes. Every single donation is from a woman. Hundreds of thousands of women in a TikTok true crime psychosis where they believe the husband did it because he looks mean. Here's another.
Is this? Hold up. Listen. All right. So, is this the female version of Rome? The fall of Rome? Is that what this is? It almost looks like it.
Post where she responded saying thousands of women online right now creating true crime fan fiction about the man who had to come home and see all 3 of his little innocent children brutally offed like that because sisterhood or something.
Kellen Clancy, yada yada yada, neck swollen, brain swelled so much that the force of brains that his brain started to try out. What the actual fuck of the fucking fuck? Hey, yo, never mind. There is no facility she belongs into. She belongs 6 feet under the ground. What do you mean? What do you mean? With a correction, they're chased and oh my god. According to them, it's perfectly normal to think about. They support her because they think about the same thing doing it to their children.
I hope he sues these idiots on TikTok. She literally chased down one of them. Imagine how scared and confused they were. It actually makes me so sick. I cried like 3 times researching all this, and I had to take a break. And here's some of the defenses people are proudly sharing. People saying, my 3-year-old daughter took one look at him and said, that's a bad guy. Or
I can't. Oh God! These people can vote! These people have the same rights as us! You could walk past them every single day and you wouldn't know! These are real human beings. If anybody ever came out wanting to take away women's rights, he could use this as a perfectly fine example. Ain't no way, dude. My daughter looked at him and said he's evil. See, maybe that's the way you raised your daughter. Let me guess, single mother? Absolutely guaranteed single mother. What are the chances that all of the women here are single mothers? All of them. All of them. Every single one. What the fuck? Intuition is the argument. Intuition? I can feel neural degradation. I can feel my brain cells die off and rot. It is literal. I have no words.
how about this? Someone asking if there's a reason why you don't think the evidence and admitting she did it is enough. And they say, LOL, intuition. There's a lot of evidence that is still being uncovered. And of course, people are crafting more theories about the husband, where they say in posts like this, we've learned a lot more about Lindsay Clancy's husband as the trial has played out, yada, 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 and that he failed his wife and kids. Yes, it's the husband's fault that she
Didn't he, for one, right? Didn't he hire a nanny, right? Realize it wasn't enough, and then moved his work to his home so he could be there. The only thing you can arguably fault this man for, if you even can, is the fact that he reproduced with someone that wasn't fit to be a mother. That should have never been a mother. That should have been neutered.
strangled their 3 children. Yeah, it's the husband. Well, here's the problem, right? You can see a note that is applied to the previous tweet saying Patrick Clancy, the husband, took 12 weeks of paternity leave and began working from home following the end of his leave. He was actively involved in the parenting and his wife's medical treatments. Where Shu would reply, end quote, saying, we've learned a lot more about Lindsay Clancy's husband, end quote. You watched some TikToks by Pitbull Mama 78 who told you about Lindsay Clancy's husband using her intuition and tarot cards or some stupid stuff. Shut the F up. And then TMZ, in their infinite wisdom and embarrassing coverage as per usual, saying Patrick Clancy spotted with a new wife amid ex-wife Lindsay's murder trial. And again, a note is applied saying it's been 3 years and 7 months since his ex-wife offed his children. Yeah, because apparently if you're not...
Yeah. It's like crazy, right? Right. They're right. They're also telling him like he's a terrible person, right? For right, he remarried, like he's a terrible person. There must be something wrong. It's been 3 years and 7 months since this man has has left this woman. Right? I think he has the right to move on after all this time in some way, shape, or form. Though I hardly doubt that a man could ever move on from this. Probably never, right? And even if he has children with his new wife, he's probably going to be deep down somewhere afraid that one day he comes home And again, his children are dead, right? Is the only thing I can think of that makes it okay to test the person you're dating. Arguably, yeah, but like, how do you test this? How do you test somebody if there would be a good mother? The only thing you can arguably test is whether or not they're right. You can test their morals. You can check if they're healthy in the head, but that's about it. But even then, you will never 100% know.
Now, ex-wife offs your children. 3 years later, you're not allowed to move on. In fact, you're the problem. They're more mad at you than the wife and the demonic acts she did. But Shu adds on saying, the offing happened 3 years ago, by the way, but I guess he's never allowed to try and live a normal life and to be a father again after finding his 3 children brutally offed by his ex. And here's another post by Shu saying, if you are dating...
It's enough to mess up your trust to other people. I don't think that if he ever even decides to be a father again, he's never going to leave those kids alone by themselves. Never. Right? There's no chance he's ever going to leave them alone. Right? That's somebody who will work from home every day, all day. From now on. Guaranteed.
A woman. Ask her about this viral case being talked about where a woman strangled her 3 kids. If she is on her side or thinks the husband did it, her brain has been fried by TikTok, and you need to break up with her now. Showing some of the people saying you'll never make me hate Lindsay Clancy, and also people...
I mean, hey, with that double chin, I don't know, you look like Peter Griffin. Anyway. You're an easy test. Take this baby doll and don't murderize it. Yeah. I don't know.
Hypothesizing in their fan fictions that the husband was the one who did this and then framed the wife. And here's someone trying to basically gaslight everyone. Like, you've seen just the tiniest bit of all these viral posts, but you've seen enough. But people are gaslighting, saying it's amazing how much of Shoe on Head's discourse is her pretending that TikTok and Twitter is real life and getting...
I feel like almost 1 million in donations is certainly real life. Definitely. Absolutely.
mad about it. And she says this: the hundreds of thousands of women on TikTok liking, posting, defending, donating to the woman who offed her children don't exist in the real world. They just exist in the realm of TikTok, not real life walking amongst us. Fascinating. And here's one final post, and this is just, it's just sad. Like, this whole situation is so evil, and the reactions are also incredibly evil. She says this, referring to the kids: they were probably so scared and confused. It makes me so sick every single time I think about it, and I have to go hug my son. She really needs to effing fry, and every one of these regarded schmores supporting her, projecting themselves onto her, needs to be neutered. These people are evil. They are genuinely evil. I'm telling you, evil exists in the world, and when you realize it, it starts to somewhat make more sense. Because it...
You mean the side that's fine with technically obliterating 3 billion people is fine? Is mentally well? You mean to tell me that the people looking at a 14-week-old baby and going like, yeah, that's not a human? That, right? Those people? You think that they are not evil? Think again, I don't believe she's insane, because she didn't plead herself guilty after receiving treatment. I don't believe she's insane. I believe she did it. I'm also believing that it was premeditated, because she was apparently, as far as I know, consistently saying she's going to harm her kids. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
It's really hard to grasp how people are supporting this stuff, giving $1 million to this woman, saying, huh, same Lindsay, and also using their kids as props, having psychotic, violent outbursts regarding their own children and posting it publicly. This is genuine evil. Okay, at this point, guys, I'm worried the 19th Amendment is going to be repealed from this case.
Well, would you be surprised if that were to happen? Personally, I probably wouldn't. If they ever consider, right, you're having a strong case here for rethinking how we treat women in society. That is a very strong case. That is a very strong case. Close to, if not more, deaths in the last century than the rest of human history. Yeah. Yeah, very. Yeah.
It's like, that's how bad things are going right now. It has been an eye-opener for millions of people, and the situation just keeps getting worse, and it's not getting better anytime soon. But at the end of the day, at least light is being shown on evil here, okay? The evil nature of these people is being exposed, and no one's forcing it, right? They're doing this on their own volition. Think about that. But anyways,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video.
This is just diabolical. This is these women are evil, right? Imagine getting $1 million only to get the guilty verdict. I hope. Hi, Egg Strang. How you doing? Are we doing well? Hello. But I hope. Actually, I think she should get more than the guilty verdict. I don't think there's any way to redeem this. She's a waste of tax money. There's only one way this can go, and that's the chair. Or a squad. I don't care. Men do the same, but men also arrest them. We don't see female cops condemning her actions. Fun fact, infanticide is actually committed more by women than men. Fair, these are not infants, right? Some of these, right, they're toddlers. Though, is an 8-month-old an infant? I guess, I don't know. I'd have to look at the definition. Regardless. The way I see this, there is no... I think she should get the penalty. That's what I firmly believe, right? The United States has it, fucking use it. And this case, 100%, it's crazy about it. They probably AI generated this as well, because they all look the same. See, you're also reveling? Very much I am. I felt... My brain is fried. Neural degradation. I might just be just as insane as these women from watching them alone. Oh, God. These are real people.